how this whole story started with you moving to Croatia, and why did you fall in love with it, you know?
Okay, sure, man. Yeah, so basically, I think it was around 7 or 8 years ago. I came here with on holiday with an ex-girlfriend, and I was looking, had the travel bug back then. I was looking at new places to go and stuff like that, and Croatia was in this Lonely Planet guide, like top not new destinations, but becoming a hot destination to go to. So I checked it out and I started looking online. What could I do? I found all these sailing trips. I thought they looked awesome, but we didn't want to do that. They didn't want to do that. And then we decided that we would come to Croatia and just go to some islands. So we decided to book for Korčula for like 5 days, and I stayed 5 days in Hvar. So I think I was here 10 days in total. And I fell in love with it. I thought it was great. Couldn't believe how blue the sea was and how beautiful it was, and everything seemed really great. I don't know, I felt comfortable as soon as I sort of came here, and then I left after them 10 days and was recommending, you have to go to Croatia to everyone. And back then I was working as an engineer, so photography for me back then was just a hobby. I think that holiday I did have my camera on me, and I still look back at some of my pictures and now, and I'm like, shit, it's nice. With my photography, it kind of just started to improve like very fast, and started like moving in a direction where people were saying, oh, you're getting good. But I didn't feel like that at the time. I didn't feel like it was going to sort of do anything. Then I decided, okay, maybe I'll try sell some of my prints. Which I started selling these prints I was making. I think I sold a couple of my ones at Croatia, and then I took a trip to Sri Lanka, which was like this life-changing trip for me, which kind of opened up my eyes to everything in terms of the direction my life was going, and my photography, everything like that. So when I was on that trip, I decided there and then I was going to quit my job. When I got home as an engineer, and I quit my job as soon as I came back, and I started looking for jobs. And I had one friend here who was working here as a DJ, and he kind of said, oh, why don't you try for some jobs in Croatia? Oh yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I could hit up some of these boat companies I was looking at, So I sent out some emails and didn't hear back from hardly any. And then Sail Week, one of the companies I actually seen when I was in Korčula, they replied to my email that they liked my photography, and we started exchanging these emails, and they sort of offered me an internship where I could come and shoot for them for a few weeks, and in exchange would get like a spot on the boat, which for me, I was like, okay, this is my foot in the door for starting the career, in photography. And I came here, and I worked for 7 weeks for them, and really fell in love with it. I even though I loved it the first time when I came, I was even more blown away the second time, and every day on the boat sailing, it was just magical, man. And
you spend more time, right?
Yeah, I spent more time. So I was here, I think 8 weeks in total. And it just became a place where I was like, wow, this is the place, and I've been coming back ever since, so I sort of left after that summer. I left and sort of went around Europe a little bit, and then I went to Turkey for like a month, and was out there working in this eco hostel. Still was unsure how my photography was then going to go again, what am I going to find next, and hoping that I would get asked back to Croatia for the next summer, and luckily that did. I went to Asia and started working some jobs there, and Sail Week offered me a position to come back as their official photographer.
Nice.
And things just developed from there, man. It just snowballed, and here I am 5 years down the line and calling this place home now. So it's pretty nice.
Sounds awesome, man. There's a kind of a trend in Croatia that everyone's moving out, so it's refreshing to hear a story where someone is moving in
by the seams of it. That's one of my friends used it the other day. He said I was on the news like last week for the dog shelter I'm sort of volunteering at, but they were talking about me, you know, like this English guy has come to Croatia. My friend said I'm like a gorilla in the zoo, you know. Everyone's like, oh, English guy, you know, like that's his reference to it. Yeah, to it. Like, oh, this English guy comes here like it's like some crazy foreign thing, you know, to do. But yeah, for me, it seems pretty normal to move to somewhere so beautiful as this.
Yeah, I actually think that it's a trend that's growing. You remember that what they installed like a few years back, the Digital Nomad visa?
Yeah, this new visa. Yeah.
I think that more people started using that. Have you noticed more people like you moving in from different countries?
I've noticed there's like quite a few more expats around. That's definitely like the expat community seems to be growing. This digital nomad visa, I've heard mixed sort of reviews about it. I don't know how in depth we should go about that, but yeah, I'm definitely noticing more people are moving to Croatia. And why not, man? It's, you know, I think it's really, really good place to live and to work, especially if you're working online and stuff.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking as well. What are some of the main countries you notice that people are coming from to Croatia?
I've noticed there's a lot of Americans starting to come here. I have noticed that. Like the last few days in Split, this is irrelevant actually, but last few days in Split, we had the aircraft carrier here, American one. You know, it felt like summer, but just all Americans. There were so many Americans in the city. But going back to what we were saying, like I definitely noticed, yeah, a lot more American expats. You hear the accent around the city in the cafe bars and stuff like that. I've not met too many English, I wouldn't say. I've met a few, but not heaps of them. Some Aussies. I've met, you know, a few people from everywhere, but like you said, it's unless you're in these expat groups and sort of doing these meetups and stuff, you don't sort of tend to notice. You just hear the accents or whatever here and there. But
you know what? Before, but like 3 years back, I moved from Croatia to Ireland, and before that, I spent like 4 months on Hvar, working like a summer job in a small tourist agency, renting out, you know, bikes, scooters, cars, and things like that. Because I was too overworked with my job, and I met a guy who had this like small agency, and I basically told him like, look, I want to work, but I actually want to relax. And he's like, yeah, man, like this is like stress-free. Like he basically gave me the keys to the shop, and wasn't even there. So I managed that for him, and had like a 4-month work holiday, you know, and it was really great. I loved it. And then I moved to Ireland, you know, rain all the time, clouds, no sun, you know, temperature doesn't go above 20.
That's so definitely a big switch to go to, you know.
Yeah, and I feel that you and me kind of switched, you know.
Yeah, we switched. I came here and took all the sun, and you went and took all the rain.
Yeah. How was the switch for you? Like, I kind of knew that it's gonna rain a lot, so I kind of prepared myself mentally, you know.
Yeah, for me, I came in the summer, and I was like, that was I previously, my longest trip away from home was when I went to Australia for like 4 months. So I was used to the heat. I was there in the summertime. But yeah, when you're living in it, it's a little bit different, you know, especially when you're sleeping on a boat and stuff like that. So it took me some time to adapt to the heat, I would say that. But then I stayed sort of chasing the sun for the last 4 years, you know. I was going between here and Asia. So I think I've kind of realized I'm a bit of a sun worshipper, and I have to be. So whenever I go back to the UK, I always find that super depressing with the weather and the clouds. And even when I go to Zagreb, actually, it's the same in Zagreb, you know, it's just cloud everywhere. So it's but still there's more sun than in Ireland, at least for my taste, you know. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the full version, go to the Uncle Gold podcast YouTube channel or watch the next clip.